Welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell. This week's special guest is Luke Dyson. From facing daily struggles with bullying and violence to overcoming preconceived notions, Luke opens up about the battles that shaped him both inside and outside the ring. We discuss self-reflection, recognising the real challenges within ourselves and the reality of fighting. This episode is full of powerful lessons and raw honesty. Thanks for listening and watching this episode.
There's many people out there in this world, Lord, that have used and abused me and dragged me to the depths of hell. And I tell you one thing, that's something that'll never happen again. This is the number one thing you've got to do. If anyone out there is struggling, don't look at the world, just look at yourself.
Welcome to 2025, Season 2, and welcome to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell. And this week's special guest is Luke Dyson. I'm really looking forward to Luke sharing the good, the bad and the ugly. Thanks very much for coming, Luke. Nice one, fella.
Pleasure to be here, man. Thank you.
Nice one for coming. I know you've come from Halifax, is that right? It's
Going down, yeah. I think it's about it's only about 2.5 hours.
Fucking hell, mate. It's a bit of a journey.
We can travel it for a whack, so we can travel it for a chat, can't we?
No, I appreciate it, mate. Listen, I've been following you on social media for nearly 12 months now, and, you know, I wanted to find a little bit out about you because you're fucking massive all over social media on video, and you know, you're the talk of fucking social media. You know, you get up and you go and fight anyone anywhere, and it's just I wanted to get an insight to exactly, you know, what possesses anyone to go and do that. But listen, I want to get a background of your life and, you know, the Luke Dyson that people don't know, you know. Yeah. So listen, I just want to get into it. You know, where you're from, where you grew up, family life and school life was like.
Yeah, well, I'm from Huddersfield originally. I wasn't born in Huddersfield. I was adopted about a young age, and then I grew up with my adopted family, brilliant parents, but I was just an angry kid. I was just an angry, emotional, confused child my whole life. It was just trouble from the get-go, really, mate. Trouble for myself, trouble for my parents, trouble at school. I was in various behavioural units, you know, while I was at school. Went to write referrals, and then through year 11 I was working for 3 days a week and then only coming into school for 2 days a week. And then by the time I was in year 11 I was back living, well, on my own. I went into hostels, bed and breakfast and whatnot, just due to my behaviour and due to just how turbulent my emotions were at the time.
Fucking hell. So, from an early age, Luke, can you remember, like, primary school and, you know, stuff like that? And, you know, can you remember?
Yeah, vividly, I remember everything, really. Primary school was just, it was rough. It was rough. Like I said, I was just an angry, confused kid. I caused myself problems, and problems got caused for me. I moved junior schools, I think, once or twice. I never really could settle anywhere. I never really fit in. I never really allowed myself to fit in either, to be fair.
Did you just not let your guard down, or
I think
friends
maybe,
and stuff?
Maybe sometimes I let my guard down too much. I think I was just very ignorant as a child, and just like you keep saying, just very confused. I never really knew how to be in any situation, so I never really managed to fit in the situations. But I'm not saying I had a terrible life. Like, I had some amazing times throughout it, but
you know, you speak about your adopted parents and stuff like that, you know. What were they like?
Well, they're my real parents, really. In my eyes, they are my real parents, because they deserve it. What do you say? What are they like?
You know, what was, you know, for them? What were they like for you growing up? You know?
You see, the thing is, they were amazing for how they brought me up in the end. The end result, because I mean, I've grown up, I've got manners, I've got respect for people,
morals,
and morals, and I understand the way the world's meant to work, and that's all down to them. And the way they brought me up and the opportunities they gave me as a child. But obviously at the time as being a child, I never really understood it, and I rejected it a lot of the time as well, mate. It's just abhorrent behaviour, always just so angry, just for no reason.
Do you know where the anger come from, Luke, or?
No idea. It's still here. It's still in me.
Yeah.
People say it to me now. They go, he's lucky, he's in steroids and he's raging. They don't understand. I've always been this angry, brother. Like, I'm not even at the moment now. I'm not angry. Like, if you ask anyone that knows me, compared to 5 years, and then compared to 10 years, and then compared to 25 years ago, I'm basically at peak calmness.
You're a bit mellow now than what you wasn't.
Yeah.
And listen, you know, like you say, you know, from you know, any child from a young age, you know, and like you say, your real parents because they are, mate. You know what I mean? And
I think I was just very confused, mate, with the situations, like not being able to understand situations, and then obviously passing my hurt and my anger off onto the wrong people.
yeah,
I mean, obviously this is why. I mean, at the end of the day, I think like even though it affected me and my parents and everyone, the whole family and everyone at school and everyone around me so bad back then, I think at the end of the day it's come to a good kind of result, because now I'm older, I know what my motivations are and my reasons for doing it, and now I strive to prove to them that I was worth it. Do you know what I mean?
I think as you get older, you do sort of understand. Like, you know, when you're a kid, you know, you think you know everything. You think, you know, you're the dog's bollocks, and you think, you know, these things. It's like anything. I remember being a kid myself, and you think, you know everything, and no one can tell me this, and no one can tell me that. And as you get older, you know, when people say to you, "You'll regret that," or "I told you," and you go, "Fuck off," you know what I mean?
100%.
And then, but as you get older, you know, and I think I will say to you, Luke, is that look, you're big enough to go, do you know what? I should have, you know, I sort of should have listened to that. And what you're saying is like what they said, and then, you know, at them times that, you know, I should have done this and I should have done that. But you're big enough to say, you know, I'm proud of where you're at in life now. And if it wasn't for the people, your mum and dad, you know,
I understand my
people,
goals now.
Yeah, exactly,
I
mate.
understand my goals. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So from school life and stuff, what was that like? You know, was hanging around with mates and stuff, and
Do you know, to be fair, my brother, no, I didn't. I had a odd couple of mates, but no, do you know, honestly, bro, I was just that kid. I'd be attacked, I'd be assaulted, I'd be bullied. Do you know, maybe some of it was my fault, maybe a lot of it wasn't, but it was just very unpleasant to be. I don't know. I just every day it was a struggle, bro. It was a struggle.
Was that in school and outside
just
of school?
through school and outside school. I never really got up too much, because every time I did, it just never really ended well, mate. Yeah, because I put myself in the wrong situations that I wasn't meant to be in, and it'd always end badly for myself.
Backfired and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my mum and dad know, they've picked me up many a times where I've been battered and assaulted, and seriously, very seriously. You see, people say it to me now, they're like, "Oh, do you not think you put yourself in danger?" You don't understand it. Like, I've been
You've lived
that
it.
serious injuries, serious assaults, and just serious incidents just since day one, bro, really. And, you know,
And do you think
it's always just kind of been my path. Just now it's my choice, you know?
No, but that's what I'm going to get to, and we will talk about like the fighting and stuff and what you do. But you think that's where from an early age, like, you know,
I've only started fighting the past 4 years, my brother, you know, like, and that's in life in total. Until then, mate,
I genuinely thought, you know, you'd fought for a lot longer, and people, you know, see it on social media, you know, your Mrs. Hannah fucking taking your ear there and everywhere. And one thing I will say, and we will get into that, that's what we're going to get into in a bit later in the episode, but do you think all of that has come from, like, you know...
Oh, it's all accumulated. It's all accumulated.
It's built up.
I tell you one thing, there's many people out there in this world, bro, that have used and abused me and took me for... What's my language meant to be like on here?
You're okay to... Yeah, you're all right.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Used
on, you're all right,
and
you're
abused
okay.
me and took me for an absolute dickhead, and, you know, dragged me to the depths of hell, bro. And I tell you one thing, that's something that'll never happen again, bro. And I've learnt my lessons, and there's people that have put me in situations, and the situations that I've put myself in, bro.
Which only benefits them, and it's put you in...
I've learnt lessons, bro. Trust me, I've learnt lessons, and I've people have used me in the worst ways, bro. People have participated in helping me destroy my life in ways that I could never fathom doing to somebody else. So
I can see by looking into your eyes, mate, how much, like, you know, people, and this is what happens to young lads and young fucking girls. They get fucking manipulated by people who, you know, take advantage of people's fucking good nature, you know. They use them and abuse them.
Inability to stick up for himself as well. I think a lot of people are just terrified, but I think fear runs in a lot of people. Are pressured and put fear into a lot of situations.
And fear is a fucking bad, scary thing.
It's horrible, mate.
Fear, you know, what people don't understand is, you know, when the fear of life's put into somebody, you know, it can traumatise them for the rest of their life. It can have a major effect, where obviously yourself has suffered that, but then you know you've done something about it. Okay, some things might not have been above the law, you know, But at the end of the day, people have had to do things maybe to survive, and we've had guests on this podcast who've said they've had to do this to survive, you know, put food in the cupboards and fucking clothes on the back, sleep, you know, they've been sofa surfing, couch surfing, you know, and I just think there is people out there who do take advantage of people.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, 100%, my brother. And it takes an evil person as well. I think this is why now I've got older now and I look at the world with kind of a bit of a soft heart, because I just...
You're not that young kid no more,
no,
Luke, do you know what I mean?
But I think I've felt the way people can make people feel, mate, and you know, it's not how I want to be in this world. Whether that means that sometimes my kindness is mistaken for weakness, whether that sometimes people won't ever take me for an idiot ever again, mate, but maybe some people might get away with a thing or two.
Yeah, but listen, like you say, you've got your missus who's seems to be on the ball and stuff like that, and you know, someone asked me, because I only told one or two people that it was getting you on, and someone asked me about, like, you know, ask him about, like, who, you know, managing him and stuff like that, or, you know, has anyone, and this is another thing I was going to ask you later in the podcast, but I'm going to speak to you about it now, is like, has anyone ever approached you to, like, fight, you know, professionally, or, you know, go into a professional gym and maybe, you know...
No, well, I mean, as far as management goes, it's basically just me and Hannah.
Yeah.
Do you know, we do everything, promote myself as much as I can, because at the end of the day, this isn't it's not a 9 till 5 job, is it, mate? It's not a setting contract, is it? We've got to capitalise on it and work on it as much as possible.
Yeah.
So me and Hannah basically do everything from the ground up. When she's the brains, I get punched and stand in front of the camera. Well, she looks good in front of a camera as well. Sometimes more, well, most of the time better than me. But yeah, as far as these other shows go, I'm doing what I do. I do love what I do, but I could do it a lot less. But I'm doing it to survive at the moment, my brother. Like, it's not to survive. Like, I'm not on the breadline. There's people out there in much more of a worse situation than me. But at the end of the day, we've all got to eat and we've all got to live.
I think you know, that's what I was going to say to you. You know, Luke, fucking career-wise, was there anything? You know, was it? Did you work, or was it just?
Well,
fucking...
I was a carer for adults with severe challenging behaviours and disabilities and whatnot. But I've taken a step back from that now, my brother, and I've tried to basically focus on myself a lot more. I mean, you can either make everyone else rich or you can make yourself rich. I've done an awful... Yeah, but it's how it is. I've worked for years, my brother, looking after other people and caring for people, and I absolutely love the job. But at the end of the day, it only takes you so far.
But that's what you're saying there about caring for other people. You know, that's you as a good human being. The satisfaction you get from that, considering, you know, the life that you went through as a youngster. Yeah. You know, and then your mum and dad come along, and you know what I mean. Well,
those were my intentions why I got into caring, because I wanted to.
You've been there.
Because I wanted to give back, and at the time, obviously, until I actually started getting into care work, I didn't really... I'd had a few jobs here and there, but I never really liked work, because I never really liked the work, and I'm one of them, bro. If I don't want to do it, I just won't do it, and it's blatantly obvious, yeah.
Is he stubborn?
It's just... Well, it'll just be blatantly obvious, bro, as well. Like, I'll be there, but they just... Like, they'll be getting no... There's been no point in me being there. I've worked in factories, I've stood on the lines and stuff, and it's not going to last very long, whereas with care work... It was something that I had a passion for, and it never really felt like work. It always just flowed out of me. Like, the people I used to work with, they were like the people I used to care for. They were never like seen as people that I looked at. They were friends, my brother. They were like people I had around me, and I loved the relationships I built with every single one of them. But it was just a very hard and mentally challenging job, especially after so many years.
I think in that type of work, in that line of work, you do find that, but you know, good people who get satisfaction out of the job, because there's people that go and do it, like you just said, you do work. In fact, and they go, this isn't for me. But in the care sector, you get some people that do, and you think, why the fuck are you going to leave?
100%. I remember the first day I ever went for my interview. She looked at me, the manager looked at me of the place where I went at the time, and she didn't have to give me, none of them had to give me the chance, because I had a DBS record as long as my leg. Do you know what I did? But they said to me, listen, Luke, it's not about the qualifications. They said it's not about you coming through this door looking clean, it's about your life experiences and what you know. And I really truly believe that's why I always excelled at care work, because I was grounded. I understand life from the hardest point of view sometimes. And I judge no one, bro. I judge no one. But at the same time, she said to me, if you are coming in here to get rich, she said, you will never get that. She said, come in here with the right intentions. And she said, if you aren't coming in with the right intentions, you might as well go home now. And that's something that always stuck with me. And it's something that I always did, went in there with the right intentions, never to get rich, but always just to do my best. And I think sometimes you have to go through chapters in life. And that was I think it was a chapter in my life that I went through. I needed it. I managed to help people massively, I believe in it. Helped me massively grow as a person. But it's time for the next chapter now.
Of course it is, yeah. And that bit of advice from that lady is something that will always stick. You know, like you just hit it on the head there. No one's better than no one, mate. We've all have 2 arms, we all have 2 legs.
Do you know what? I truly believe people are better than other people, bro. Do you know what I perceive that?
In what respect?
In the quality of your heart, my brother.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you know, like, people said, and I understand the meaning, no one's better than anybody else, because, yeah, I get that 100%. But then I think there's people on this planet, bro, that live on this planet with the pure intentions of just maliciousness, with a black heart and just bad intentions and a bad soul. And I truly believe there's nothing that can ever help them. And then I think there's some people out there, you understand the kind of people I mean, the worst of the worst, without really going into it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going off a tangent and I'll go here.
Yeah.
But the worst of the worst kind of people. And then there's people on this planet, my brother, that have nothing. They've been through the worst of the worst, and they still live on this planet with the best intentions in the heart. And I truly do believe in that aspect. Some people are better than the other people, my brother, because there's people that just don't deserve to be a spot on this planet and to have the things that they have, and there's other people that deserve the world and they're missing out on it. So I think in that respect,
when you look at it like that, you know what I mean. Where I always say, when people look down on people,
100%,
that annoys me. And look, it doesn't matter how fucking tough you are, or how rich you are, or what club you wear, and whatever. We all have 2 arms, we all have 2 eyes, and we all have it all on our backside.
What goes on in there, my brother, and in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what connects them 2 things together.
Of course it is, and I just think, if you've got a good heart to help people, when you've lived a life where, like you can say, you can give back to them people who you were helping in that care, you know what I mean, in the care sector. You're someone who, because in that it's a very challenging job. But when you get satisfaction about that person feels like no one's going to help them or whatever. But when you're going in and giving them that voice and that care.
I think what it was for me, my brother, I think obviously, like I said, going back to like growing up, there was always certain people in my life, certain key people that never gave up on me. No matter what.
No matter what stuff you've done or whatever.
Like when I was living, there was a teacher called Mr. Thika, and I'll always remember him. He was a support teacher, and I was living on my own. I had a flat up in Everton. They ended up setting fire to it, and I think they either stole my dog or killed my dog. I can't remember which. But when I had my flat, I was still in school, and he was only a support assistant. And I hope I don't get him in trouble by saying this, but the man he'd pick me up in the morning, he'd bring me into school, he'd make sure. Then Mr. Curry, my head of year, he's an amazing man. He always stood by me no matter what I did. He'd give me food in the morning. My mum and dad were always amazing, but I didn't give them the option to be there. Do you understand? It's not that they ever failed me, I failed them, and I pushed them away. So then they fed me, they never gave up on me, and then I'd go home, they'd slip me a bit of money. They'd say to put on your bills and whatnot, but they knew what I was up to. It was just money to basically stay out of trouble, Luke. And just make sure that you get up again the next day. And it's just certain people that never gave, but like my mum and dad as well, obviously, because they never gave up on me, because they're still in my life. But there's certain pivotal people in my life, my brother, that really drew me into. As I got older, and I thought, do you know what? Now I'm older, even though at the time I never realised it, because I was like I said, I was angry, I was confused, scared, mad little kid. Yeah. But now as I'm older, I've come to the realisation, I thought, without those people, if they're just one of those people or 2 of those people had given up on me.
But they never.
And as well, if my mum and dad had never adopted me, my brother, it's not like 2 people had sex and a child came out and there was no option. They chose to have me. They chose to give me the life they gave me, and it was a beautiful life, bro.
But you know what, though? It's like you're saying about your mum and dad and your teachers. I used to have a teacher, and he would you'd always get the teachers who'd go, you fucking won't do nothing with your life and whatever. Mr. Brown was my teacher, and I was not a bad little footballer. I wasn't the best. and he fucking used to take me to Stoke to Port Vale for trials and stuff. He had a family. Instead of being at school all day for like 8 hours in a day, took me to fucking trials. He didn't have to do that. No. It's like them teachers, and when you get older, you sort of realise and think, I was a little shit.
Yeah.
I was a fucking class clown. I was a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? But that teacher never gave up. Like them 2 teachers never gave up on you. And when you look back at it now, you sort of think about, wow, if it wasn't for them, not saying it's made you the person you are, but it makes you realise.
It does shape me, and then this is why, like I said, with the care bro, because I thought, you know, as I go older now and I realise if those people aren't giving up on me, and I thought, when I'm going into care now, even if it's directly, look, I've had the worst days ever. I've had people trying to pull my eyes out. I've had feces thrown clean on me. You name it, I've had it, mate. I've had it the worst of the worst. But even those days, I'd never take it personally. I'd just go home and I go to sleep and I wake up again the next day and I think, do you know what, even if it doesn't make a difference this day, maybe if it doesn't make a difference next week or next month or next year, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, someone might sit back and say, do you know what, I remember Dyson, and do you know what, good on him, I appreciate him.
That's fucking madness what you're saying there, you know what, to have that outlook on it, where Luke, a lot of people would be like, fucking wouldn't want to go out the house, wouldn't want to, you know, what you've just been saying there, you know. To that degree, I know that's just touching the surface, and I know that's just
puppy food, that, bro.
Yeah.
That's just what I get paid to do. Do you know? That's all I categorise it down to do.
But you know, when you say something like that, anyone watching this episode will think, "Fucking hell," you know, throwing like you know what I mean? And like you say about your dog and stuff like that, being in your house and all that. You know, that's just horrific. Like, you know what I mean?
There's things like that. Do you know? Like I said, through childhood, but it was just always them kind of things, bro. Like
the area that you were from
hostels. Well, that was a thing since when I moved up. When I went from my mum and dad's house, I went to live in Fartown at one of my mate Dre's houses, and I lived there with him for so long. There was only so long I could live there. Obviously, you're young. There's only so long you can live on someone's couch for it.
Yeah.
And then I went over to hostels. I went over to Dewsbury to a hostel, to a wedding hostel. I lived in there for a bit. Ended up in a fight with the manager. Social worker came, picked me up. Went to a place called Thornton Lodge in Huddersfield. I believe it's still housing people by the council. I lived in there. Ended up getting battered in there. Then I got a bed. It might not even be the right order, but I got a little bed sitting Birkbear, just above a little pub. And then a load of lads come in there and battered me, and they took my phone and stuff, robbed me in the middle of the night. Then they moved me again to Berry Brow Flats. I lived in there for a bit. That was just a pit of despair, if anybody knows Berry Brow Flats.
Well, what's keeping you going, Luke, at that age? How old were you when all this was going on?
I was 15, 16, but it was just as it going into year 11 and then onwards from this. Just constantly moving, and it was, some of it was, like I said, some of it was my fault.
Was you making silly decisions? I mean, look, was you up to no good or at the time, or was it just fucking,
you know, I think, like we say now, everyone knows who I am. But that's always been the case with me. But people have always known me before. I think I've always just been that person. So people have had preconceived conceptions about me, bro, from day one. You know,
when
like
you don't really know the real Luke Dyson.
They just won't like me, bro. Yeah, they just won't like me, or I'll just be a bit too loud or a bit too brash. And I don't know. Maybe I've just had a time. And I don't know. Maybe I have no explanation from it. But it was just, like I said, it could have just been my situations. Yeah, they took my dog. They set my house on fire up in Neverton, and then I went to the kids' home in. They went to the kids' home in Linley in Halifax, and then all lads, they battered me there, smacked my face with a brick, and then I got moved to, I didn't get moved, a lad called Arnie, he was a police officer, a New Zealand fella, another pivotal person obviously in life. I just remember I was sat at the kids' home, my face was smashed, this big New Zealand police officer, rugby player, stood in front of me, I was like, hey, you wanna move to Halifax, bro? I was like, I didn't have a clue what Halifax was. He was like, I'm moving on kids' home. So like a kids' home, like you weren't all in, because obviously in the children's homes we had separate rooms.
It wasn't dorms or nothing.
We'd we'd be unscrewing each other's door handles and taking TVs out of each other's rooms, and then, you know, just all sorts of madness with kids' homes. So it was just a mad environment. And then we moved on to this, where in Halifax it was like apartments, different apartments all in one It's like a building. It's all army barracks in Halifax, if anyone knows, if anyone wants it from Halifax. And it had like 13 rooms. I think it was like 13, yeah, but they were like full-on apartments. You had a bathroom downstairs, 2 bedrooms, and then go up the stairs, and it had a big living room, and it was beautiful to say. It was like, for moving on, so the people that were just leaving the kids' homes to transition into living on their own, it was an in-between kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I moved over there to Halifax. I remember coming over, it's Ainley Top. I mean, our last work's there now, and I'll always remember coming over that hill, because Linley's just down the road. And the kids' home was just behind the manor house in Linley, and I always remember coming over the top of Ainley Top, and just under it's a little tunnel. I don't know if you've ever been to Halifax, but you come off the motorway, you go under a little tunnel, and you see down onto Halifax. So I always remember coming down that in the back of this taxi on my own, and I never knew it'd be the start of a whole new like life, because by then I'd already felt like I'd lived a lifetime.
And how old was you when you remember in that journey?
I think I was about 17, 18 by then, bro. I think I was like 17, 18 by the time I'd got to kids' home and then moving on to there. Yeah, it must have been about 17, because it was 18 when I moved out of it's called Open Doors Project. I mean, if anyone watches it that ever used to work there, shout out to every single one of you, man, because you're all absolute beasts. But yeah, it was beautiful, and then obviously moving on from there, I was in Halifax, a whole new start. Well, it wasn't a whole new start, because to me it was, but Huddersfield was only 15 minutes over the hill, and everyone that didn't like me in Huddersfield then managed to travel over to Halifax. So we'd have like groups of, if anyone remembers, everyone probably does, from Halifax and from Huddersfield, there'd be like groups of 30 lads running around Halifax going, Luke Dyson, and trying to do all sorts of madness. I used to cause some riots to say I was on my own.
Yeah.
And I weighed about 5 stone wet through. But yeah, and then just things weren't the best, but and then obviously I had my oldest son, Kane. He's 12, 13 now. I had Kane, and then moved out onto my own, and then things from there, bro, just really went a bit downhill. I think I was just left to because obviously before then I'd always had like social workers and people. They'd always come
guiding you and stuff.
Not guiding me, because it was like, yeah, Luke, go to this hostel and then boom, you're on your own. Or Luke, go here and boom. But then when things like when I was in the hostel, like in the wedding hotel up in Healy, and we had to do with the manager, and then the social worker would come pick me up. Or then when I got my face done in the kids' home, there's staff there, isn't there? So then it's like, there was always a social worker or someone, but then...
You went on your own?
Yeah, that's it. Once I cut out with them, that was it, wasn't it? So then there's no help no more, there's no guidance, is there?
And how did that feel, Luke, for you?
Do you know what? I think of my whole life, brother.
So that's how you matured. Do you think you matured a little bit because you were on your jack?
No, I've never really matured until the past 5-6 years, and I'm still very immature. So what was it?
So you was obviously, you've been used to like social workers coming and stuff like that.
So then obviously you just left to your own device, and then things just obviously started going downhill from there on him.
Was you getting involved in shit and that?
Yeah.
Company, listen, we all make decisions, you know what I mean? I always say this to people, we can, you can get involved with stuff, and, you can be around people and all that, but we all make our own decisions, and, sometimes it takes, we go, look, I made that decision and whatever. You start getting involved in criminality and shit and all that, because we've all, everyone's fucking...
Well, do you know, I've been arrested for all sorts. I've had allegations of all sorts. There's been, obviously, I've been involved in things that I'm not proud of. And I haven't been involved in things that I've been accused of also, do you know what I mean? But like with the police side of things, without going into too much, I've been...
You don't need to disclose it.
Well, no, it's not. There's nothing. I'm just trying to think of how to word it, man. It's like, there's no situation that I'm proud of that I've ever been involved in. With the police side of things, I really am truly mentally damaged from things that have happened with the police. I can't deal with the police anymore. The thought of police, they're just the way...
The way you were treated and stuff like that.
Maybe, I don't know. I hate to put blame on people, you see. I always try to put it back on myself. I'm like, the way I've acted.
But the way you were dealt with and certain things.
Yeah, just...
Handcuffed, fucking done in and all that stuff.
Cut up, left naked in cells, bro, for 3 days, battered, pepper sprayed, and just... I think for me it's the emotional distress of being locked in the police station, and my mental health is well, you got to. I don't know how you've probably been. Have you been in a police station before?
I have.
Obviously, I don't want to ask you to.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
In a police cell, you know yourself then how horrible it is, mate, when that door shuts
It's
and
a
the
scary
walls.
place, mate. A lot of people can deal with it, and and everyone's different. You know what I mean? But when that door closes and you start dwelling on things where what the fuck have I done there, and the situation why you are actually there, or if the situation that you haven't done why you're there. You know what I mean?
I think it's everything for me, brother. I think it just the thought of being in themselves or anywhere near it now. It just instills me with a different kind of fear, man. It completely messes up my brain just from past experiences. I don't know what PTSD is, but I truly believe that if it
has
probably,
some kind,
it probably is. There is some
You're
sort.
probably right, yeah.
But now that I try my best not to involve myself in any sort of situation like.
No, as you get older, I think, Luke, I think, it's like you don't want to put yourself in certain situations which is going to involve being fucking locked away from your from your missus and
Nothing's
stuff.
worth it. And
It's one of those, I
there
think.
were things back that I used to do for a few £100 or to make a graft or to even, just. I don't really want to
Quick
say
money.
too much,
You make
but
quick money,
just
know
not
what I mean?
even, just stupid money or just stupid situations. I look back at it and I think,
What the
risking 10, 15 years in jail, and that's no joke. Do you know what I mean? Like 10, 15 years in jail. Number one, for people that don't give a fuck about me. Sorry. But number two, for money that doesn't last fucking longer than 2 seconds because I'm either wrapping in a bloody joint and smoking it or whacking up my nose, which became a massive problem later on in my life, bro. Do you know? Just everything, just pointless money, bro, pointless waste, pointless friends, fake friends, fake people around
exactly.
you. And I see it all the time and people are saying it, but people don't understand the gravity of the situation. These people are leeches, the demons, the black souls. They latch onto vulnerable people or just anybody. Now, even if you're vulnerable, if you benefit them in any way, and they'll suck you dry and they'll leave you, man.
It's you who takes the fucking rap for it all.
Yeah.
And listen, you think, whatever dough you're making, is it worth the 10, 15 years you're behind the door?
Because no, but at the time you think
you
it
see
is.
the pound signs,
You think it is, bro, or even that, like just the bravado of maybe the county lines, or just because I won't even go into like obviously anything I say is hypothetical, but like just stupid situations, bro, like where you, I don't even like going, just stupid things where you're risking 10 to 15 years in jail and for people that fucking won't even go shop for you, bro, do you know, like...
But listen, but what you're saying there, I know you don't want to go too much into it, we won't, because listen...
And I don't want to glorify anything either as well,
it's not,
bro,
it's not glorifying it.
No.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real, Luke, because what you're saying is going on today, and look, people do what they do, right? But the people that, fucking do... These kids who get locked up now, or who comes and fucking sees you? Yeah. It's only going to be your missus or whoever. The people who are your so-called mates, they don't give two fucks about you,
and
mate.
Do you know what the thing is? It's not the people making the proper money that are in the jail cells. It's the lost, vulnerable kids that are in the jail cells 9 times out of 10. It's the people that shouldn't be in that situation. There's people that have been bullied and forced or even pressured or even just
one last time,
or even just feel lost and completely desperate in a situation where they've got no other choice but to steal or starve, bro, like... Or,
you're trying to provide,
Yeah, and some people,
survive.
For whatever motivations and whatever reasons they have for doing it, they're obviously that desperate or in that much of a mindset, a befuddled, like a brainwashed mindset, because that's what people do, they brainwash you, bro. It's grooming and it's brainwashing. People think that grooming is just like sexual grooming. It's not. It's people groom and they manipulate people into the feel like they have to,
so they don't get caught or whatever. And we've had people on the podcast who said, like, when they were grafting, when they were younger and stuff like that, and they'd look up to the older lads and all that, and they'd befriend you, and that's what it is. It's, we had one person on the podcast and he said, look, I chose to do it. He said, I think he was on Lad Bible or something, and he said they made out that I was groomed. I wasn't groomed. I chose to do it.
100%.
But then there is other people out there where they do. Hello, mate. And listen, this just goes on.
No, because
I'm not saying it, but I don't want to agree with it. But then I
think from my point of view, bro, I think I made the choices to do it. But I wouldn't have made those choices if I was in a safer environment and if I was around better people.
You were vulnerable.
Yeah.
You were very vulnerable, Luke.
I think I put myself in them situations, but I think the people in them situations absolutely jumped all over it and savaged me like a lion, bro. And to be honest, I'm lucky I got out the way I did. I don't know how I got out the way I did. I don't know how I haven't. My mates have been, you know, just serious situations, my brother, that I can't really, you know, kidnappings, my mate's been hurt. I mean, yeah.
In that game, Luke, it's a fucking... this is what I say to people, and look, when people do what they do, that's fair enough, that's their choices. But going to bed and closing your eyes and not worrying about who's coming through the door, or you know, that's what we're saying about fear. You know, people sleep with one eye open.
But honest to God, I used to pull my sofa in front of my living room door. When I used to live in Savile Park, and people remember this, I used to pull my sofa in front of my door, and I'd sleep on my couch in front of my door, bro. I'd put my SIM card under it, and just all sorts of madness. I think that was a lot of drug-induced psychosis as well, from just stuff I was whacking into myself, bro. You know, at the time. But yeah, no, just that feeling, mate. It destroys it, and I think I'm the same. This is what it falls down to the police thing now. It all has a massive impact later down the line, bro.
Later on and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
I've massively. I think I don't know. Do you know when you accumulate so much, you peak, and then you're just like, can't do that no more.
No, that's it. And you just come to a stage in your life where you think, fuck that.
It's not me now, bro. It's not me.
Did you save any time, Luke?
No, I've never did. You know, this is how I say. I don't know how I got out the way I did, my brother. I don't, truthfully. I mean, I've always had good intentions, but I've never meant anyone any wrong. I've never meant anyone any harm, and I don't believe I'm a bad person, bro. So I don't think I truly deserve.
When you're involved in all that shit, let's be honest, it comes with all kinds of carry on, doesn't it?
Bro, yeah.
But then you've got to a point where you've gone, fuck this, and lucky enough that you didn't, you know, go to jail and stuff like that. But then,
I think it's a saving grace on my brother, because, you know, these people that have, I don't know, you know, it terrifies me, the thought of being somewhere like that, locked up.
I'll be honest,
in my own mental health. That's what it killed me. It's not the people, the people that... All my mates have been jailed, bro. Do you know, like, if you've all been jailed and you're all my mates, and I'm sure if I went in there, I'd have a load more mates, you know, like, it's not really much of it. That's not much of an issue, but it's the freedom.
It's the place.
It's the mindset, bro, as well.
Yeah.
Just being locked in there, man.
Your freedom, doing what you do, your day-to-day life and stuff like that. A lot of people who go, you know, when they go, yeah, it's a piece of piss. But I mean, I personally couldn't do it.
I don't believe that,
I personally couldn't do it myself.
That's like me. It's like me telling people I'm not asked about having a fight, bro. Like, I might say it now and again, but I tell you now, every single fight I go into, I'm thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't tell me you're going to jail. Yeah, you might come out of jail at the end of it and go, oh yeah, that's what, I'm terrified of heights. I might fly around a roller coaster, not telling anyone shitting it, and get off and go, oh yeah, that was sweet. No, I was shitting it the whole way around. We know, you know.
Everyone has a, you know, certain, you know, in life you have a certain fear, or, you know, you're nervous about something. You know, it could be.
You're
not human. That's bullshit. If anyone says, you know,
your body was given to you for a reason. Your intuitions and your feelings were given to you for a reason, brother. Do you know?
When did you figure out you could, you know, you could fight? You know, when it was like, you know, what you'd been through and stuff like that, and.
I think, yeah, well, to be honest, bro, that's it. For a long, long time, I never did fight, bro. I never fought or stuck up for myself. I never did anything, even as an adult. Well, I was an adult on paper, but just still a child.
Was you a big kid when you were like...
Nah, listen, anyone that knows me knows this is the past 6 years of my life, bro. Just working hard every single day to become this. I was... I mean, if I could show you a picture, I'll send you one across, man, and you can maybe just thumbnail it in.
Yeah, we will.
And my hands are the biggest part of my whole body. I mean, you've seen it, haven't you? It's absolutely ridiculous. That was my own fault, mate. I was just, obviously... Well, still to this day, I don't cook. I put some in air fryer and call it cooking, but I've never eaten properly. I've never fed myself properly.
I think that's the fucking whole of the UK, you
know?
Yeah,
that's it. Like, yeah, he's 100%. We've got air fryers and Just Eat now and Uber Eats, haven't we? But like, just obviously, it took me to the height of drug addiction on that cocaine, bro, to really wake up and say, like, yo, I have to change. And then obviously, I was building up from. Well, I'll send you a picture and you'll see it, mate.
You know, send them over, because we will put them on, in the episode. But like you're talking about cocaine, and listen, it's a fucking, everyone, you know, in society today seems to be, you know, it's a fucking big thing. It's taken over.
It kills men, though, brother. It kills. I don't
men
know.
and women.
Men and women, yeah. But I can't speak for the women.
Yeah, of course you can't. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, people... it starts off like, you know, a little gram on a Friday or something like that, and then whatever, and then the next thing it sort of spirals, and if people are, it's just, you know, people don't forget it's a grip of you.
It destroys, and you know, you don't realise it either, bro. You don't realise it's got a grip of it. It destroys families, it destroys relationships. And people say it again. It's another thing that people make it like it sounds cliche, but it's not. It genuinely is the truth. Like, yo, it destroys your life, it destroys your families, it destroys your relationships with your kids, the relationships with your parents. You know, it turns you into something that you're not, into a monstrous animal, man. And even just in your head, like the psychosis that you'll put yourself through, like, do you know, it hits everyone in so many different ways. Like, it's not just set on stone, like, oh, you pour yourself in petrol and light a match, you'll set on fire. Like, no, there's not. If you take this is going to happen. It could be a number of things, but it will destroy you in whatever way, shape or form it can. Yeah. And if you're not strong, you have, I don't know, I see many people, I mean, my hometown, sadly, is befallen many young men that have
the same here, the same in Liverpool, the same in Manchester. But
I think it's a worldwide phenomenon.
The UK,
countrywide,
the UK, you do find, and it's scary where, you know, it starts off, it's like a bit of a coping mechanism for some people. I think some people do take that, you know, where it makes them feel better, and you know, and I just find it where people...
It's an escape, bro. It's an escape massively. Yeah. But then what people don't understand is, you whack it up your nose and you feel good, then fake synthetic endorphins come into your body. And this is me being a hypocrite. This is me just telling it straight and simple how it is. Then fake endorphins come into your body and they fill up and you feel good, or you're occupied and you're with people. But then believe me, or you if you're watching this, you know yourself, and if you don't know, then you need to listen to it, because at 4 in the morning, at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, when you lay there in your bed, and you're trying to go to sleep, but then your mental health takes over. And you know, that drug-induced psychosis comes in, and then them suicidal thoughts come in that wouldn't be there and they shouldn't be there. And the next day when you wake up and you're clear-headed, it's the furthest thing you'll ever think. But then when you're on it, they come thick and fast. And there's so many times that I can sit here and I can say, thank the fucking Lord I woke up the next day, or I fell asleep that night, because
some of the thoughts that were going through your
head,
going
through my mind, and I convinced myself that these were real things, real facts, and that wasn't worth shit on this planet, and you know, and just many things, bro. And then I realised one day a few things happened, and I realised, you know what, you need to stop being a victim in this situation. You need to man up, get a grip, and go sort your shit out. And I did.
And is that where it's for
I mean, it isn't me saying that fucking hell I'm here now and I'm the epitome of perfection. You know, like,
no.
Follow me and do what I do, because fucking hell, don't. I get punched every weekend and fucking still go back to the gym the next day. Don't do it. Don't take a leaf out of my book. But no, yeah, I think.
But what you've just said there, Luke, it's fucking real, mate. And you know, you just looking into that camera and saying that, people might come across this episode and go, do you know what? That was me last fucking Saturday, and whatever. And they know, because sometimes they think, oh, what he's talking about there, I was going through that last week, and they probably haven't told them, mate.
This is why I don't mind doing this, bro. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
I don't mind doing this, because like I get, and it's another thing, like if people message me, I really do struggle to get response to every single message, but I do try to view as much of them as I can. I do get a lot of messages, and they do say stuff like that, like, Luke, I've found this in your video, or I heard you say this, or so this is why, like, when I come and having a chat, I'm just truthful, me, brother. I ain't got no time to bullshit. I ain't got no time to make up lies and chat at my ass and paint myself.
Well, what have you got to gain by chatting shit?
But some people do, bro. They come on and they glorify some whatever. You know, I've seen many podcasts and I look at them and I just think, Lord of mercy, like, what are you bullying my ears with, do you know? But this is why when I try to come on, I try to tell the truth as pure and as blatant as it is, bro. And just hopefully people can actually understand that I'm being serious about these things.
But this is what I said to you. This is why I wanted to get you on, because we're going to get on to why everyone knows Luke Dyson. But we wanted to know the real Luke Dyson, of what he's fucking been through. And, you know, what you're saying there, because people are reaching out to you, and you know, you do try and keep up with stuff, which is fucking hard, because you know your social media platforms, you know, you've got over 100,000 on Facebook, you've got, you know, nearly 95 fucking thousand on Instagram, TikTok, you know, and stuff like that. To try and keep up with all that, and there's only you and your missus to do that, but you are responding to people. you might think this, I'm being a bit, what's the name, but, you know, when lads or girls or whoever might reach out to you and say, me fucking fella or me husband or me, or whatever is going through what you're talking about, you're being real. And for you to have actually lived that, right, I need to turn my life round here now. Yeah. I'm not fucking carrying on with this shit. I'm putting my feet in the mud here and I'm, you know what I mean?
And that's what you've got to do. This is the number one thing you've got to do. If anyone out there is struggling, yo, don't look at the world, just look at yourself in it. But that's not me trying to blame yourself and to look down on yourself, but just look at yourself and understand the ways to move forwards in it. I think most of the problems lie within ourselves.
Yeah, and it's within ourselves that there's only us that can make the change. And you know, people around you can guide you and try and push you, but it's if you want to make a change, you've got to do it yourself.
Make them steps in the right direction. And even Hannah still says it to me now, because flipping heck, it don't matter what people think to say to me, look, you're smashing it. Flipping heck, man, you don't understand, you know, my head's... Believe me, I'm going through it. I go through it, you know, just the same as you, just the same as next door, and Hannah always says to me, just stop looking at things as one big... And it's always been the same. This is what I've always done. Just like I've always tried to now stop looking at things as one big problem, but obviously it does get to it. You do look at things as one big problem, but if you do take a step back and just look at it and just take it in smaller steps, bit by bit, you chip away, and then by the end of it, man, you've completed it, haven't you? Yeah,
you just focus. You focus on, you know, I'm one of them. You know, sometimes I don't know whether Luke, don't take this to people pleasing. I used to do it all the time, and people please. Hang on, they don't give a fucking shit about me. No, do you know what I mean? I'll try and do anything for anyone. Yeah. And I think you're the same. You come across like that, and you miss and stuff like that.
Sometimes I do think that, but I think.
But then you've got to think about yourself. You know what you're doing, what you're putting your body through, what you're putting your missus through. You've got to sometimes take a little bit of a step back. I know you don't want to go like that. You know, someone might go, Luke, your name, and I know you know what I mean, and we're going to get onto that in a minute, but sometimes you've got to think about your fucking self, and you know, sometimes of what other people think. And I know that doesn't bother you, because what you've spoke, you know, the adversity you've had in life, it does. Listen, I just spoke to your missus while you went to the toilet before, and a similar situation I had myself, but sometimes it's hard. You know, you can be the toughest man in the world, but you know what? In there, you still have feelings, mate. You're still a human being. And sometimes you look at certain things, possibly on social media and whatever. Do you know what? I just fucking go like that now, me. I just go, look, I don't offend anyone. I don't try and upset anyone. We do our little... And if people don't like it, that's fair enough. But live a day in your shoes, live a day in my shoes. Or, you know, like you're saying, oh, you're smashing it. You don't know what you've got to do for people to be speaking about it like that.
Do you know? And it's another thing, you're prepared to go through. Like, you always want to say, oh, Dyson this, Dyson that. Are you prepared to go through what I've been through? Are you prepared to go through what other people have had to go through? Can you even understand what other people have had to go through? If you can't tick any of them 3 boxes, then you haven't got a right to pass comment or judgment on anybody else, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So, the fighting, you know, I think is it
140 bang on now.
Is it
140 bang on? Yeah, 141 this weekend to finish off the. Well, no, sorry, it's 2025, isn't it?
Yeah, this is no, it's okay. Don't worry. No, that's fine. But listen, 104. I had it down as 132 there, but
well, it'll be 141 by the time this comes out.
Yeah, no, listen, and I just think 141 fights for someone who's only started fighting 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Mate, listen, you have professional boxers out there who in a career sometimes have 25 fights. And, you know, and I know it's totally different to professional boxing. But how I come across you is like you do on your reels and you scroll through and all that. And this name, Luke Dyson, come up. And I'd seen it and I thought, fucking hell. My missus, I'm in bed and I'm watching this and moving and she's going, stop fucking, you're not fighting. And I'm going, and that's how I come across you. I'm in bed having a spar with me fucking missus watching you. And that's how I genuinely come across you. And I thought, and then the next day or the day after, you're out again fighting. What was it? Was it that time when you thought, I need to...
Do you know, fighting come along, do you know what, like, I started to make changes in my life, but I started going to the gym, hitting the gym as much as I could.
Was there an influence there to send you to the gym? Or?
No, well, I've spoke about it previously on a podcast I did with Luke Campbell, you know, who runs Andy's Man Club.
Yeah.
Because obviously that originated from my hometown, and that did as Luke's obviously from my hometown as well. So I sat down and did a podcast with Luke. One of my good friends, Marty, obviously bless him, rest his soul, man, he passed away not so long ago. He sat down with me one night, we were at my house, and he told me, he said, look, this conversation that we just had, he said, you need to get yourself out there, you need to get yourself into the gym. He said, you're feeling this bad, because we're having a conversation, obviously, about how we all were feeling as men, you know, it was one of them conversations, you know, you've all been there in the kitchen, you're opening your hearts out to each other.
Yeah.
But I really did take something away from that conversation with my other mate, Billy Butt, and they both said to me, listen, Luke, get yourself in. And then I did, and I started gym with my best mate, Louis Churchward, started smashing gym out, going to jacuzzi and that, chilling out in sauna, doing and yeah, from there I hit it off, but then I started spiralling back down, because then I started getting myself, once I got myself and I started looking a bit better, and then I started thinking, oh yeah, Luke's massive now, because I didn't understand back then. Because now I fight and I look and I think, yeah, well, there's no point in all them muscles if you can't flipping use them. But then obviously I didn't know how to fight, and I got the muscles and I started walking around like that. And then I'd be going out drinking again all the time and started slipping down the path. I didn't go back as bad as I was, but
It was there.
yeah. And then
Was the out and the Barney's and coming out,
I think what the issue then was, it wasn't so much the drugs. I think coming back out, it was altercations out on town. I ended up with 2 pretty severe allegations that were still ongoing when I got with Hannah, actually. There were 2 allegations of Section 18 assault, which is wounding with intent.
Fucking serious charges,
and they were both off one punch. The allegations, obviously, that's all they were. I mean, one of the lads...
Has it been dealt with now?
They've been dealt with, yeah. One of the lads, I believe he sat there in the hospital the next day. He said, I wish to take this no further. So...
But did the police want to pursue it?
No, they let me out. They said that was it. Obviously, I don't know what the ifs and ands were about that, because we never got into it. He said what he said, the police made their decision, and that was it. I can't remember it, I don't know. It's an allegation, that's all it was. And then there was another one. So I got out of the police station for that. And then flipping, thought, listen, Luke, this is a wake-up call now, sort yourself out. I'd flipping gone home. I thought, I'll never deal with this again. Got a phone call from Halifax police. They said, can you come in, Luke? And there's an allegation of assault. I thought, right, well, if you're ringing me, it's not... I went in there like Section 18 assault. I was like, flipping heck, what? So then there was another allegation of that. From there, that took a hold of my life. I mean, I was just trying to start again. I got into fighting then, because I wasn't fighting at that point. Just after that, I got
into... Did you go into a gym and that, like a boxing gym, or...?
I never flipping heck. I've only started training about a year ago. I've only been boxing training about just over a year. So yeah, there was that allegation of Section 18 again, and that was like the second one within a week, even though the allegation had come from beforehand. It was just, like a few months previous. I can't remember when the allegation was for, but anyway, moving on from that, like, obviously I had that hanging over my head for a long time, which obviously is from the start of our relationship, and that I didn't know what on earth the future was going to hold, so it held back from me massively. But like I said, that was me slipping back down that path, just the wrong situations. And then I was out in town again, and the head doorman of the pub, it's called Daz Moffat. I don't know if you ever saw Quarantine Fight Club through lockdown. QFC, they called it.
Right, yeah.
Did you see it?
I've seen all kinds of fucking things.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to call him, mastermind or Daz, he basically he was a mastermind behind QFC. He started working as head doorman on Yates's in Halifax, where he used to drink frequently. And obviously through Quarantine Fight Club being on the internet, me and my mate Louis would walk around, we were going, I'm going to fight Louis. There's a video I'm going to fight Louis on the Quarantine Fight Club, my best mate. I'm going to laugh. And Dad was like, well, I see you fighting all the time in town, Dyson, and you're drinking and you're getting nowhere and you're just getting arrested. He's like,
come
he's like, I'll actually get you a fight. And obviously I'm smashed out, mate. I'm drinking Long Island iced teas going, yeah, I'll fight anyone, me. Look at size of me. Then he rung me, stuck it on my toes one morning. And a few people have probably heard this 1,000 times, but he rung me in the morning. He goes, Dyson, would you like a novice boxing match in Birmingham? So I'm like, yeah, well, I've never been. For boxing match is a fight, innit? You're just going to punch each other and someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. I didn't really think that much into it. I just thought, yeah, I'm going to have a fight and get paid for it. So me and my mate Louis again jumped in the car, went to Birmingham, got to this show, didn't acknowledge the cage in the middle of the flipping venue. Didn't realise that there was a cage and not a boxing ring. That's how ignorant I was to all this. Like I told you before this.
And is this your first one, is it?
Yeah. I'd never watched, I've told you before we did the start of this, I never even watched sport. I don't watch sport. It doesn't interest me. Football, fighting, anything. Yeah. So I didn't know the difference between a cage and a ring or a dog kennel. So I'm stood in the back, honestly, I'm stood in the back of this show and everyone can vouch for me and there's 1,000 people. Obviously, everything I say is 100% legit and fact and I've been through it, bro. Like, I don't need to lie. I've said this. I don't need to lie. People can back up everything I say. So I stood in the back room and they're all going, oh, who's a pro MMA? Who's a pro MMA? Pro MMA could have been an STI for all I knew back then, bro. Honestly, do you know? So I'm sat there just going... Just looking around waiting for boxing gloves. The next thing, bro, they're all looking at me. I'm like, whoa, what's this pro MMA? You know what I mean? Still didn't have a clue. Yeah, well, Daz and Wheater turned up front venue because obviously I've just been there with my best mate. They've been at another fight venue with a load more fighters. They turned up here just in time. Co-main event, pro MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. You know, I were about 80 kg, you were about 120. Absolute mismatched to death. Shout out to Daz and Wheater. Couldn't have done it without your setups, bro. Because I couldn't, no matter what. All these situations that I got put in, I wouldn't be where I am, would I? So, yeah, I went in, I won first round.
Fuck off.
I smashed him clean up on Halloween. Obviously, that's no disrespect to Kenny Kington, who sent me a message and then never unsent it and I never got to see what it was. I was well stressed. I was undefeated in pro MMA for like a week. And then Daz and Wheater got me back out. Because obviously, once I'd won that fight...
What was that like, though, Luke? You've gone to a venue, it's fucking 1,000 people in there.
Oh, was it?
You've gone from Halifax to Birmingham. And it's rammed.
Didn't have a clue.
What's the adrenaline like, mate?
Didn't have a clue. I got... Bro, honestly, I'll send you the video again. So they're going, obviously I was a bit disrespectful. Obviously, I'd never been involved in combat sport. I didn't understand the respect and the humility.
You've been fighting was around
I was
town
completely ignorant to anything. So I was a bit like, oh, look at his face. And it was a bit tight, So I do sincerely apologise if you do ever watch this, which I doubt you will, because you probably got me blocked on everything. But I'd block me if that was me, You imagine Dyson coming in off the streets and doing that to me, like... So yeah, they were like, oh, he's won. Like, Daz and Wheater, they're that used to not having fighters that are winning. They're going, has he won? He's won. And they're like, oh, he's flipping won. And then I'm just walking around like in the middle of the cage.
You get paid in that way?
Yeah, bro, so they come over, they give me a big fucking trophy. I got a picture because I went to the bar and I said, they give me a big trophy. I still got it. I said, fill that full of JD. And they did. And I went, boop, boop, boop. And then they come over, give me a load of cash. And I was like, I've just hurt someone.
And you
I ain't going to jail.
And you're getting paid.
I ain't rough. I'm going home and I've been paid. And then I went out and I posted a video on my Facebook and everyone's knowing I had a fucking clue. I didn't even know we were going to do it. Never mind anyone else. Everyone was like...
Did it go viral?
Yeah, well, not viral, but like, it was like, everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, who are you? Where the fuck are you?
Where's he come from?
Like, what? Dyson, when did you become a UFC fighter? Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, everyone gets confused. They're like, you're a cage fighter? I was like... Well, no. I was like, I just went and had a scrap and somehow won. And then, but I think from there, people just jump. Obviously, I look the packs. I was in the gym all the time. Do you know what I mean? I come with the right energy. Win or lose, I always come with the same energy. So,
from that fight, Luke, where did it take you from Birmingham?
Every single weekend, bro, out then, after that. Every single weekend, 2-3 times a weekend, literally from day one, bro. That was
people ringing you up?
Straight, mate, as soon as Daz and Wheater put that footage up and everyone was seeing, like, who's this at Daz and Wheater? Because obviously they're renowned for, like, all across the country for supplying fighters. And they were like, flipping out, this Dyson. Whether it was because I look good, so... When their guy beat me, it was like, flipping heck, yeah, our guys just beat Dyson, look at the size of him. Or whether I beat their guy and they're like, well, yeah, look at the size of him, he's just beat our guy. Do you know what I mean? So either way, I'd look all right for the show, don't I?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was just, and I always just come to try my best, bro. Obviously,
Yeah.
I've lost. There's a few pivotal fights that I've had, bro, where I crumbled. I was on D-Day once, fought a guy called Jamie Jones. I shouldn't have been in there. I had no situation. I had no. Well, there's a few fights I had no reason being there, but with Jamie, it was. I was out of my depth. I turned up into a situation. I was unaware and ignorant of what I was getting myself into. And I come across a real fighting man. I've got no shame in saying that. I come across a real fighting man who was there to stand on his business. I walked in, he was there, raring to go, ready. He put it straight on my toes as soon as... Obviously, I was basically a virgin. I'd still never trained. Like, no disrespect to Jamie, because I got offered a fight and I took it. And he came up to do what he came up to do, bro. And he stuck it straight on my toes. But I was just still so ignorant and new to the fight game, and it was a whole new reality to me.
But that's what I was going to say to you, you know, look, you know, like the likes of these guys who you're talking about, you've got the utmost respect for, which you have, and that's what I like about you, though, Luke, because, you know, in this, you see a lot of people calling people out, and it does get personal, and you see it, and it gets nasty and stuff like that, and listen, it takes a lot of bollocks for anyone to go and have a straightening or whatever the circumstance. But like you're saying, if this is all licensed or it's, you know, it's legit and stuff like that. But you even saying about the gentleman there who you've gone and fought, and he was fucking, it was his, but you've gone and, but that's your mentality is, I'm not backing down here, which you get. But then I think as you're older, getting older now and wiser and stuff like that, and your missus is saying to you, Luke, you know what, maybe fucking take it. And it's not with disrespect, you've got to think about, you know, 141 fights it'll be by when this goes out. Fuck me, mate, that's some going. And like you're man enough to, where you get people who go into fights, I never lost that, when you know, you look at boxing or you see something, you go, there's loads. Here's an example, you see, remember when Jack Cattle fought, what's the name?
I told you I don't have a clue.
You wouldn't have a clue.
I don't have a clue, bro. I told you. I'm sorry. I do apologise.
I remember Jack Cattle fought, what's the name? Josh Taylor. And everyone could see Jack Cattle beat him. And it was a fucking travesty. And it was just like, wow. And then when you look back at it, you think to yourself, you know, come on, you've been beat fair and square, and whatever. But to go and do that, I mean, 141 fights, Luke. That's some fucking going.
The thing is with the Jamie Jones thing, it was a pivotal moment in my fight career because I fell apart, bro. He scared me that bad. You're big enough to admit that, because people who watch you and people who look up to you, and you do get a lot of people who admire you and look up to you, and for you to speak, because everyone gets nervous, mate. You know, you could go, you know, you can go and you can walk into a job interview or whatever, and you get nervous. Flipping like I stand in the queue at Argos and I'm in bits, bro. Trust me, people don't. And I am a nervous wreck all the time, most of the time, bro. Flipping it, you should have seen it when I booked cinema tickets for the wrong day other day. Last Sunday I went to cinema, I booked tickets for next Friday, flipping the letters in, sat down in cinema. I'm looking around thinking, well, everyone looks right comfy here, all cuddled up on reclining couch and that. Looked up at the screen and thought, well, I'm sure I watched this last week. I'm like, flipping it, babe, get us out of here. Oh, with that bad, I didn't want to stand up with me two...
Don't tell me you've watched it again.
With me box of big, large popcorn, me two Tango Ice Plus and a bright yellow jacket in front of the whole cinema. And everyone's looking, thinking, why is he coming with 2 fresh drinks and a fresh box of popcorn 10 minutes before the end of the film? So, yeah, I do fall apart. But no, yeah.
No, but listen, this is what I'm saying. This is the part, Luke Dyson, what people don't know, and you know what, mate, you gotta. This is why we wanted to get you on, because, you know, your life's been a fucking roller coaster, mate, and to where it's going, and look, you know, it takes a lot for any man, woman to step in front of 1 or 2 people, but to hundreds of people, or put yourself out there on social media, because social media, you know, like you say, it can be a good place and it can be a bad place. Yeah. But I think with what you're doing and what you stand for, you know, people will reach out to you, and even like you're talking about, you get nervous, and anyone who says they don't is full of shit. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is, my bro? I think no matter what you're going to try to do to go forwards in life, if you aren't going forwards, then everything's going to be fucking easy, because you're going to be sat in the same spot, and it's easy for us all just to sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
Do you know, if you're going forwards and you're going in the right direction, There's going to be obstacles in your way, man, no matter what way, shape or form they come. People think, like I said earlier, if you're Dyson, you're still smashing it, but just because now I've got a few followers, or now because people like maybe more eyes on me, like, problems don't go away, more problems come along, do you know, like, do you know, like, and this is, I don't know, sorry, I go off tangent and I lose.
No, you're not. And I think I know what you're getting at, because with what comes with it, when you're popular, or you're the talk of the fucking, what's the name, you know, it could be social media, it could be the talk of the town, with it, and I'm gonna say something, Luke, and tell me if I'm fucking wrong, you know, you and your missus deal with that side of things, you're gonna get people who want to leech onto you, and you know your worth. You know what I mean? And there's certain things.
I think maybe the struggle is I don't. I think I need to know my worth. I think I need to get out there.
Well, look, you know, if you're getting 50 fucking million plus views online a month or whatever it is, you know,
I need to wake up and stop letting myself be used. I'm still being used by promotions and stuff.
But you know what? And listen, a business, you know, a business sense and a business head on you, well, you know, you're still learning things. But then you sort of, what you said at the beginning of the podcast, which I've remembered, is, you know, a lot of people have took advantage of my good nature. And listen,
still do,
if you're going to be on a card, or you're going to go and, is there any chance you can promote this for me or whatever? Well, yes, certainly, but listen, it's got to make sense for both of us.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what'll come.
Obviously, there is people out there that do have my back 110%, and they're
the good people out there.
Yeah, they do. They have my back, whether they've got everything. Because I've got friends that have got everything they could ever ask for, and they've got hearts of gold. And then I've got friends that have got absolutely nothing, and they've got equally just as good hearts of gold.
Yeah.
You know, like, it is what it is. Obviously, I never judge. Like I said to you at the beginning, the only way I judge anyone is just by the quality of the heart, my brother. And, you know, people say to me, well, why are you with that person? Or what are you doing there? Or what are you doing there? You know, as long as someone's always good to me, my brother. Or obviously,
the loyal,
if I see you do something in front of me and I think, whoa, no, that's not the kind of person I want to be about.
Or be around and all that.
No, 100% I won't be. But then at the same time, if I can look at you and, you know, someone else like, whoa, but I'm like, well, no, because there's a good person.
There's a good person there.
With a good heart.
Maybe because you don't get on with them doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to fucking...
And you know what? People have always been like that about me. Oh, don't be around Dyson. People don't, listen, I'll tell you one thing, and people, you watch this, don't think I don't know about everything that people have said about me. Don't think, because there's plenty of millions of things that I just keep my mouth shut about. But you don't think I'm ignorant in it, because I know everything that people have said about me. I know all the people that kiss my ass now that never used to, and just used to always badmouth me. But just understand, my intentions are always the same, innit? I've only ever had good intentions. So you've always been talking about the same person. Just the difference is now when I stand in front of your face, you haven't got the confidence to say it about the person that you used to be able to say it about 6 years ago, innit? And also another thing, like, I'm hearing it, like, all you people that used to take the mic, just understand you never could ever do that again.
Well, this is it, and you know, to go through them things in life, it's one of those, it's like you say, you know, these people that can say, it's great to sit behind a keyboard or behind a fucking...
They're the worst.
Yeah, of course.
And it's you lot with cats as your profile picture, or so I do apologise for you.
Don't.
Fish, but sat there with your fish in your profile picture. Yeah, yous are the worst. Sorry,
it's all right, don't worry.
Yous are the worst. Yeah, leave me alone, because one day I'll deliver myself to your doorstep with a gum shield and no gloves, and we'll see. We'll see. 50-year-old John living at home with his mum and 2 goldfish, talking rubbish on me. Oh, Dyson, you got bank.
Do you know what though? And Luke, this is the thing. And
sound mad with
you know, I know. But you know what though? But it's fine, because you know what? You know what you've just said there, where you turn up to someone. It's like anything. I
won't do that as well for the benefit of the tape. You know what I mean?
No, but
without my solicitor,
no. But listen, I know people that have done that, and you see people's fucking, they have handbrakes in their undies because when people turn up to the door and they put it on them, because it's okay speaking behind a phone or behind, and listen, everyone can have an opinion. That, you know, we put ourselves out. We put ourselves out there on the podcast. You put yourself out there at a much higher level than what we do. And Luke, fair enough. There's you know, people can have opinions, but when people get personal and get horrible and stuff like that. That's
too much, bro.
It gets too much. And then when you do find out where they live, people turn up to the doors and they go, "Oh, I was only messing."
Do you know what the thing is? I think
what
what people need to understand is that I've got thick skin, me. I've always had to have thick skin.
Yeah.
Do you know, whether that be through my own choices or other choices, things that have been put on me. But just understanding it, like, your words aren't just seen by me. Like, I've got a child, I've got a fiance, I've got a family, I've got parents that are proud of me. I've got grandparents that love to see, like, from what I was to what I am. Just understand when you sat there making them hateful comments towards me and just being absolutely fucking awful for no reason about someone who has nothing but, like I said earlier, good intentions to everyone on this earth. I don't know, just understand it impacts on my child, it impacts on my parents, it impacts on the way they look at me, the way my grandparents may look at me. It impacts on a lot more than just myself and my feelings. So yeah, myself and my feelings, maybe they do need to be taken into account now and again, but I ain't going to sit here and play victim. I put myself in the spotlight and I need to accept the ramifications of that. But maybe I'm realising at this moment that it's maybe a bit of my fault as well for putting myself in that position, but my child doesn't deserve it. My fiance doesn't deserve it, and my parents and my grandparents and all my other bits and bats of my family, they don't deserve it.
I'm going to disagree with you, mate. I'm going to disagree with what, because you know what? You're a human being. And let's be honest, you know, when people fucking make them hurtful comments, you're a human being, you have feelings.
They do hurt.
So listen, I know, and you know, when people say something which isn't particular, you know, it's some stuff you just laugh at. But when it goes personal and, you know, brings families or whatever into it, you know, you put yourself out there, Luke, you know, you're doing what most fucking people would love to do. Do you know what I mean? And people say to us, you know, like, you know, people are just fucking, they'd love to do this and look, people's circumstances in life might be, but don't hate on people. Yeah. I don't get it.
Do you know why?
I don't get it.
Because they're miserable. A lot of people, they either can't understand how you do what you do or why you do what you do.
Why you do it.
Or they can't understand why they're not doing it. Do you understand that? Like, it might not be directly why they might look at me and think, oh, I want to fight as much as Dyson. But they'll identify something that I've gotten, apart from my beautiful fiance, my beautiful children and my family, a roof over my head. Well, just the basics in life. I've not got nothing more than the basics in life, so there's no need for you to be jealous. But people do. They seem to find something that I've got that they haven't got, and then they'll hate on me for it. And I don't know. Preconceived perception, like I said earlier, the people will just presume to know me before they've even met me.
Exactly.
And absolutely, abhorrently hate me. Like, some of the stuff I read online is mental. Number one, as well, don't Google my record. I don't even know my record, and that's God's honest, Scout's honest truth. Hand on the Bible, I promise you, I don't know my record. Records are for DJs. I aren't a DJ, I'm just Dyson. Joe, not DJ Dyson, just Dyson, Luke Dyson fighter. Yeah? So, don't Google my record because you aren't going to find nothing. Don't comment my record because you don't know it and I don't know it. Just your facts. I'll fact check your facts for you. If you want to inbox me first, I'll fact check your facts. I don't hide from nothing. I mean, most of my fights are on YouTube, you know, like, you can probably watch every single 140 of them.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, just, some of it really does get hurtful. But then again, some of it, it's pretty piss poor, to be quite honest. I mean, Dyson Hoover, I've had that name since I was about 5-year-old, you know. Like, I'm like 32-year-old, you know, I can't do them. I'm not really good at maths because the CTE's kicked in, you know, like all you trolls say to me. But, like, do you not think I've heard that joke 1,000 times? Steroids. Well, I've got big shoulders. Do you not think I've heard that joke? Like, you aren't original. When you're coming on, you go, steroids. Like, that isn't funny because it wasn't funny when the other person said it, or the other 500 people said it. Do you know what I've figured out as well? I've got a lot of people, bro, and this is the thing, like, the people you idolise have respect for me. This is the mad things, like, the people that hate on me, they idolise other people, have respect for me. You will never find someone doing more than you or successing in their own goals and focused on their own dreams. They will never pass hate or judgment onto you, bro. It's only the people that sat in their own cesspit of despair and pity and self-wallowing in it, mate, and wallowing in their own self-pity. Sorry, I got that back to front CT again. No, do you understand what I mean, though, don't you?
I get it, yeah.
And instead of looking at themselves and identifying themselves as a problem, which is what I had to do.
You put hate on others.
Yeah, you're putting hate on me. You don't know me. Fucking, I live 500. In fact, some of them, bro, they live at the other end of the world. God's honest truth. The time zones must be like 24-hour different. These man, they must wake up at 3 in the morning, bro. Yeah. Just to specifically hate on me. And I think like it's mad. You're never gonna bump into me. You're never gonna know me. Obviously, it's easy to have an opinion on someone you're never gonna meet, and you're never gonna have to explain.
But there's having an opinion. And there's hateful stuff. Yeah, and listen, you've got every right.
Even your opinion, bro. If you, do you know, is this what I'm gonna say as well? Cause someone's got it coming by the time this comes out. It'll probably be released to the public anyway. Not in a criminal way. So I'm gonna do it in a proper way, isn't it? Like obviously in the fight as a fighting way.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say, yo, because this is the number one thing. This is sorry to interrupt this, but this is gonna be his excuse. Yeah, I'm allowed my opinion. You are allowed your opinion if you can back your opinion up. If you can't back your opinion up, then just keep your mouth shut. Because if you're going to talk about someone and they mouth off about someone, and then when they come to you, you go, oh no, I can't do that. Well, you shouldn't have opened your, because I'll never open my mouth about something. Well, I never open my mouth about anyone that can't beat me up, never mind someone that can beat me up. And I wouldn't dream of doing it about someone that can beat me up. Do you know, I've already got, do you know, like,
exactly.
I just, so yeah, probably by this time this comes out, one of you, you'll be getting put in the spotlight. Because I just hate trolls.
Yeah.
And so many of them, they pass so much hate onto me, bro. And it bubbles up, and then I can't, because like I said, they've either got the cat as a profile picture or a fish, and you can't do naught with that. Or they live in Dundee or Australia or God knows where, man, because it's too much of an effort, bro, to go deal with them on a Tuesday. But then there's one of them, and he's messed up, and he knows he's messed up, and I've communicated with him, and he knows it. I'm coming for you.
Is that the one I've seen on? I think I've seen it on your socials.
Yeah, and he's very well known. He's very well known. I can't stand everything he epitomises, everything he stands for, the way he carries himself, everything. It'll all come clear. It'll all come out of the wash. Innit? Without going in too much, but yeah, that's
shit always comes to the surface.
Just a prime example, like we said, people always have an opinion. Have your opinion, but back your opinion up in it. Don't play victim when you shout your opinion and then
it gets put on your toes.
You know what I mean? Then you're gonna come put on your toes.
But fucking hell, mate. But a couple of our kid was my brother actually. He asked Luke, you know, when he's fought, out of all 100, I thought it was 131, but it's obviously when this goes out, 141. Who hits the hardest, Luke, when you've fought?
Do you know what? Who hits the hardest? See, I always struggle with this one. Probably because whoever's hit me the hardest, I can't bloody remember it. No, there's been so many, bro. I've had so many different fights, tough fights in different ways. I know obviously that wasn't the question that you asked, but I'll answer it in a different way. People say to me, oh, what's your toughest fight? Toughest fights come in many ways, different shapes and forms. Jamie Jones was a tough fight because it mentally destroyed me. Will Thomas, a lad from Wales, fights under Ryan Mack. He smacked me once in the eye, absolutely opened my eye up. It was the first 10 seconds of a 5-round title fight, world title fight, mate. Yeah, I got absolutely decimated. Hit me once, didn't he, in the middle of Wales. Split all my eye. Yeah, it just opened up instantly. Don't know how, it was just must have been it was a hell of a whack. Yeah, I don't know how he hit me, and it happened. Yeah, so he hit me really hard. And obviously I've done like professional MMA and professional kickboxing as well, bro. So I've took spinning elbows to head, and I've took kicks to, do you know what I mean? I've been knocked out with kicks to head and stuff, bro. So yeah, there's so many different.
It just makes you think, why the fuck do I want to go back and do it again? Do you know what I mean? I kicked someone called Tez Mitchell's knee, and it snapped my foot, man. I've done all sorts, but I've been hurt so many different ways. So like the toughness of the fights really for me boils down to, cause yeah, I might have been hit by Will and that might have split my face open, but then there's been other things that have been tougher. Yeah. Do you know, like a fight can be tougher for other reasons than how hard the man hits in front of you. And you know, they've got a different technique, good skill and whatever. And you know, the fights that I've watched and stuff like that, you know, everyone's different the way they fight, and you know what I mean? But, you know, another thing I wanted to speak to you about was like, you know, is there anyone up and coming that you'd say, watch out for this kid, or watch out for this, or is there someone still?
Do you know what? I've got a few good mates that are just tough. Do you know what, my brother? I think there's a lot more like a lot of the unsung heroes. Like you said, it's all good for the lads that Like, this is not me passing any sort of judgment. Like, there's a lot of fighters that only do it a couple of times a year, and hats off to you, respect you, because that is the right way to do things, probably.
Yeah.
To let your body heal, recover, and do your proper training camps. But there's also a lot of lads out there, like, I'll shout out to a good few of them right now. Hayden Sheriff, one of my good friends, one of my brothers, absolute warrior.
Where's he from?
Hayden, he's from Manchester. He's one of the best road warriors out there, man. These boys, I've only been doing it 3 years, but these boys have been doing it since they were in nappies. Eric Sutton, the king of the unlicensed circuit, man, the absolute hard. Well, I don't know what's happened to him. He's undergone a major restoration, because I stood in the room with him for 10 minutes the other day and I didn't even have a clue it was him. That's how good he bloody looks. No, but Eric Sutton, Will Cairns, like I said earlier, Jordan Wheater, all these lads, well, obviously Jordan not on a killing level, but like, I love you to bits, Wheater. Sorry I said that, but you're not a killer, bro. You're a thriller, not a killer. I love you to bits, my brother. But like, these lads, there's a select few lads that fight so much. But if they could ever, and I say this about myself as well, if we could take a step back, get off of that one thing, because we all fight for a living. We're not fighting for anything. Well, we fight.
You work as well.
All of them, they work, they judge family lives, they judge personal lives as well, because you've got to understand, a lot of us that are going into this, like you said earlier, we're not right in the head. Understand that, innit?
Luke, I think he's around the fucking bend.
Yeah, no, but that's it. Understand that, innit? Like, this is what people seem to miss out, though, bro. Do you know when they talk all this? Understand, we are right in the head to go out and face people, because 98% of the time as well, we are getting paid to turn up and fight people from their gyms. So, I ain't paying you. I ain't going to say to you, oh, here, Dyson, here's 500 quid, come beat Hannah up. Doesn't work like that. I'm going to find someone that I know that, yeah, they're going to put up a fight, but Hannah's probably going to come out on top. Do you know what I mean? We are never the favourites to win. So 9 times out of 10, I'd love to be able to see a lot of these road warriors.
Matchmaking and all that must be hard. Or Luke, you've been in with some big fucking people. You're a big lad yourself.
I've been in with Bellator champions, bro. I've been in with Olympic boxers. Mitch Rose. I fought Mitch Rose. I don't know if any of you know his brother. Brian Rose.
Brian Rose from Blackpool.
Yeah. I fought Brian's brother Mitch. Absolute, as a legend is Mitch. I know, and do you know what it is? He's gonna buzz off this, because I spoke to him the other night. He went, "What about me?" Because I shared someone's thing. So yeah, no, Mitch. Big shout out to Mitch. I fought him. I fought people with some serious accolades, and this is another thing. You divvy trolls that sit there and go, fight a real boxer. Do you understand? Just because someone doesn't look like me, they look at me and they think, oh yeah, because Dyson looks like this. You do understand, number one, all this is on finance. If I don't pay it, it'll get taken back. Nah, but like, these muscles, they don't win fights. Like, they look good for the aesthetics and selling the fight. Yeah, Dyson looks like a beast, but to be honest, it's more detrimental. Don't look at one of my opponents and go, oh, he looks that shape, or this and that, or that's an easy fight, or that's a mismatch, or Dyson's an idiot. Because you never judge a book by a cover, and that's something you'll learn very quickly when you actually do come into the fighting world.
But you know what though, Luke, when you saying that, one of the other lads said to me, Tony, ask him about, because you've got power, you look the part and all that, and like you just said, 12 months now you've been in the boxing gym. Would you instead of fighting every fucking week or every couple of days, letting your body rest, do you not think maybe getting in the gym, bit more, technique and all that, because Luke, you can bang, and stuff. When people, like my mate said to me, went, Tony, if he just had that little bit of fucking someone, guiding him, trainer, where I know you've done it all your fucking self. Yeah. Do you think maybe?
Do you know what I was training with my coach Seamus Devlin, and I was coming on leaps and bounds with him. I was winning every single week, and then obviously.
Boxing, was this boxing?
Yeah, boxing training, yeah. And I mean, you got to understand, I was fighting for 2 years without ever having a clue how to fight. So then I had to unpick bad habits. You got to understand, it's like joyriding a car. It's like when you're younger and you go out nicking cars for your whole life. But this is how I see it, because a lot of my mates have done this.
Example.
So when my mates have drove illegally most of their lives and ragged it about the estates, when they now get old enough to go pass the test and they're sat next to the driving instructor, they've got bad habits that they then need to unpick, because the instructor isn't going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to pass you, because you're driving like you're getting away from the police.
Fucking handbrake.
So you got to understand, I was fighting, in retrospect, like I was getting away from the police, like I had to unpick all these bad habits, bro, and then try to learn how to box. So from what I was to what I've gone. Yeah, my footwork, it's nowhere near perfect, but flipping heck from what it was. Like people just watch my videos and they're like, oh, they'll watch my video of this week and they'll be like, your footwork's terrible. Yeah, this is terrible. Watch fucking 6 months ago. I was fighting in TNs. Do you know what I mean? What, 6 months before that, I didn't even have a pair of shorts. Do you know, like, yo, we're coming on bit by bit, innit? Like, you never jump on a bike the first day you ride a bike and just sit off at the top of the hill and go, whee, all the way down to the bottom, do you? No, it takes time, it takes effort. And you understand, like, I've been riding the bike before I knew how to ride the bike. Do you get me? I've had to get back off the bike, reassess it, and now think, right, Luke, I'm well aware that certain things I had to do. I had a picture perfect boxer. You write down on paper what a boxer is. That is not me. And to be fair, I never professed myself to be a boxer.
No.
I call myself a fighter. I've got like my brand's Luke. Not brand. I tried branding myself in it. I'm the Luke Dyson fighter. It's not Luke Dyson boxer. It's not Luke Dyson pro boxer. And everyone's like, "Oh, go pro." Going pro, getting a pro license is like getting a TV license. You don't just write to the BBC and say, "Yeah, I'll pay you a £5 a year." Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a rigorous, hard process, and there's some people on them pro levels that are absolutely on top of the game.
Yeah.
But another thing is, don't sleep on me. Don't ever think that not given the right opportunities, the right camp and the right sponsor, not sponsored because I don't
that comes
need
with
no
it.
one.
That comes with it when you get to that. You know
Don't ever think given the right opportunity, I will not pull out all the stops and I will not perform, because I'm telling you I will. I'm telling you I will. I've pulled out worse things in my life.
If that opportunity came,
it will come when it comes.
When it comes,
let's manifest it.
Just say I don't know, as an example, BKFC or whatever.
Well, no, I've talked to BKFC, BYB. I know all of them.
You know,
I know
them big organisations. You know, if something like that come, they come.
I'm wanting Misfits really. I think that's where my direction's kind of going.
I'll be honest. With Misfits, mate, there's people who are on there who fucking hell, where you've had all these fights and all that. I'm not just saying it because you sat here. I'm not just saying it because you sat here, but I'll be honest with you.
I know exactly what you're going to say. It's matching me up, isn't it?
Yeah, because
that's the issue I've got.
Because I think if you get in there with someone and you fucking whack someone,
I'm not interested in doing that. Not interested in doing that. I want to fight. Yeah, we don't lose people.
And like you're saying, you got the right team behind you. You know what I mean? You've got your missus fucking managing you.
Yeah,
Hannah Hearn there over there. Do you know what I mean?
Trust me.
So, but what I'm saying is, like, and this is what one of the lads said. I think if someone could guide you, you listen, you're raw. Listen, you've come from the streets. And,
I'm ready to learn.
And listen,
as well.
it's not as if like you've just hit it on the head there, and it was a good example. Like you get in the car and you joyride, and then you go on your driving test, you start fucking like pulling the handbrake around corners and all the time, and something's gonna go, none of that. Yeah. It's like boxing. It doesn't happen overnight. You've got to learn the basics. You've got to, and stuff like that. But I think if you've got something to go at, it's not nice, that one.
I've got a fucking orange one. Should never mix chocolate and
fruit. I thought he was going to eat them all before you came, to be honest.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. But like I say, I think, like you're saying, why can't you be on a card like Misfits and stuff like that? It can change your life, and and I think life is about opportunities.
It is. And do you know what the thing is as well? Like, this isn't me bad mouthing anyone like off saying I deserve a position anymore, but this isn't all for, this can't all be for nothing. That's what like in my head, and I even said it to someone on the way here. I won't say who, but one of my mates was struggling, and I said it to him. You don't go through everything for it to be for nothing. So for me, for this fighting thing, I ain't doing it all for it to be for nothing. I don't want to be still sat here in 3 years doing the same thing. I want to evolve and go further.
That opportunity.
But the thing is, well, with the opportunity, I aren't just asking for someone to open a door and for me just to show straight through. Like, I will grind and I will work and I will prove my worth of them opportunities. But I'm making sense, capitalise on it at the moment. It's not just about giving me the opportunity. I can make you money, do you know? Like,
I was about to say this, Luke. We sponsored a fighter, Jack Power. He's 4-0, he's pro boxer, and he's a great fighter. And I'm not saying it because we sponsored him, but then we were talking, and we were talking about other stuff where nowadays, if you sell tickets, listen, you can sell tickets. You've got a big profile, social media. You tick them boxes.
Sorry, go on.
No, and I just think with that, the likes of Misfits or the likes of these other organisations that you've spoken to, is taking a chance and listen, with the right camp, instead of putting yourself out every fucking weekend or even 2 or 3 times
if I got that opportunity, if I got the opportunity, and I hope to God, because I truly believe that everyone that I work with, or that everyone that I sign up to fight for, most of them I've already fought for before. If I'm good enough to offer, to risk my life to entertain you and your fans and whatever for your promotion, then surely you should support me in the fact that maybe if in one day that big fight does come up, then I will take a step back from the other little fights and I'll go and I'll put my all into it.
Well, this is it, and life is about opportunities, and I do think, Luke, you know, it's gonna come, and I really hope it does come for you, mate. You know what I mean?
Do you know what the thing is? I think it makes sense. Things only last for so long. I think grab me while I'm hot. I don't mean it like that. It sounds a bit weird. But, grab me while I'm hot. Stay away. I think you don't use me, but I can be beneficial.
Business sense.
Help me change my life. At the end of the day, like, there's people out there that I don't know how to say it. There's a percentage
you can bring
of the
a lot
world,
to the table.
Yeah, I can. I bring a lot to the table, and I'm willing to earn it. So just stop ignoring me. I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. You know who I am. There's people on the other end of the world sat there in the middle of Australia that know who I am, or in the middle of Chile or Argentina. They know who I am. Like, you know who you know who I am. just have me, please.
No, that's it. no, but that's brilliant. But what I want to touch on is your Mrs. Hannah, what she does behind the scenes. You know, she
beats me. She abuses me. You know,
no,
no,
without Hannah.
No, yeah.
Listen, you know, I think everyone says behind every man is a great woman and stuff, but what she does for you.
She's not behind me, bro. She's next to me, innit?
Yeah,
she's next
she's
to me,
in your
bro.
fucking corner.
Or she's in front of me picking me up.
No, but
No.
you know what though? With any man, you know, his missus, you know, a lot of people, you know, anyone's missus are like, they never want to see confrontation, or unless they're professional or what you do. For there to fucking drive you, to be in your corner. You hear it, I've heard it on the videos, like, Luke, get behind the fucking Luke, fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking step back, you know what I mean?
She knows more than most.
Yeah, but you know, for you as a person, and I know you do appreciate her and you love her to bits, you know what I mean? But what she does for you, what does that, what does it mean?
I think she does what? I don't know. I don't really.
I'm putting you on the spot
She's
here.
sat here now.
She sat across from us here.
Nah, but truthfully, the times that mean the most to me, innit, when I go to bed at night, and even if I do sit up till 5 in the morning and my head's a mess and everything's just like, sometimes you feel like the weight of the world's on your shoulders. And flipping heck, I train 5 days a week, 6 days a week, as much as I can. I'm fighting 2 or 3 times a weekend. You think I'd have a release, but I don't. Still wound up. But then when she's next to me, bro, that's when it truly counts.
Brings that level.
Yeah, we have it. And when I wake up in the morning next to her, and I'm blessed, bro. I am blessed. I'm blessed to have her in my life. My family love her. My son loves her. My dog loves her. Well, our dog loves her. That's it.
Me dog.
Well, he weed on her the first day. The first day she ever walked through the door, he weed all over her shoe, and I said, "That's it. He's never letting you go."
He's pissed off.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Weed all over her shoe. Yeah, just weed all over her. I was like, well, he's never done that before. Flipping egg. Looks like we've got to keep her. Yeah. So yeah, and then no, she's amazing. She's amazing, bro. She puts up with a lot she wouldn't have to put up with. I put up with a lot I shouldn't have to put up with, like liquid lasagnas and. Do you know what I mean? But no.
Liquid lasagna. Is she not a good cook then? Oh, no comments.
Yeah, listen, I didn't bring my solicitor with me, so no further comment. No, she really is my world. She puts up with in the fight game and out the fight game. She's got my back. We've been in situations before where it's just me and her. I've ended up knocking the guy out, the number 1 home favourite out, clean out, and then
fucking hostile as fuck.
Hostile as fucking, and we'll stand there in the middle, and it is like Beauty and the Beast, and we stand there on Bonnie and Clyde, and we'll just say, listen, and we will stand on it, and I'll stand back to back with her. She'll throw straight punches, I'll throw straight punches, and we're not bothered. Like,
Has
we
it
will
got like that before?
Oh, plenty of times, bro. We've had it a few times. Yeah. We've been proper abused by crowds. We go through it all, bro. The thing is,
that's heavy, that though.
Oh,
you know
heavy,
what I mean?
bro. Yeah, but people have learned the lessons, bro. People have lived. Bro, listen, do you know, the thing is, just leave me to fight, bro. Leave me to fight, because, you know, a lot of people, do you know, every single time I've been given that extra. Because I fight, bro, without no emotion or feeling. I'll shake your hand and I'll just say, yeah, let's have a good deal, mate. We'll have a fight. I don't mean no bad to you. Do you know when you put
Fight,
that,
there you go, after the fight, there you
yeah.
go. It's
Even before
proper
that,
way
bro,
to-
I'll
proper way,
walk up
innit?
to you before the fight and I'll say, listen, let's have fun tonight. Listen,
But you want to take the head
listen,
off.
I'm going there to make my money, but I'll still do that. Like, I'll still hit you with the same intentions. But I'm going there to make money and to do what I do, win or lose.
You go home, that's it. After it.
It's all about going home to his families, bro.
Yeah.
We're not there to kill each other unless I seriously don't like you. But then if I seriously don't like you, you give me that reason, I've never failed. And just understand, I've never failed,
Yeah.
bro. I've never failed. Anyone who's ever pushed me to that limit, or anyone that's ever bad-mouthed me or done something wrong, I've never
Like
failed,
we were saying
bro.
before, Luke, it gets to a point where, look, there's fighting, making your money, and you know that. But when it gets personal and stuff like that,
I've never failed, bro.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah, no, and I listen.
And I'll crush him. I'll crush him when I need to, bro. When you push me to that level, I'll crush him. I will. I'll crush him, and I've proved it time and time again. But yeah, like I said, going back to that, we've had abuse. I've left people spark with the clean the side of the ring. They've needed a couple of 3/4 of a tank of oxygen, and we've told them all, listen, who wants it? If any of you want it, you all. I've told them before, it's your fault. It's like that. You know, they're screaming at me from the crowd and saying all sorts of stuff to me.
Of course, yeah.
And I'll take a bit of, you know, you're there to support your guy, but you know, like when it gets too much, I ain't there to be disrespected. I'm putting my life on the line to save 9 times out of 10 to save your person's fight. Because for a long time I was a standing last minute fighter, bro. I'm coming to
You're
save
keeping
the
the show alive or whatever.
You know what I
it is,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I'm not here. I'm only coming so he's still got his fight, so his training and his tickets and everything else.
So
ain't gone
fucking
to
whatever
waste.
amount of tickets.
Do you know what I mean? So
You're keeping
you
the show
can all have a
alive.
good night. So I don't deserve the disrespect. She don't deserve the disrespect. So then, yeah, I've had it, and we've had it with people, and they just soon go quiet, and then one
She's
woman
got
will
your back, hasn't
yeah,
she?
one woman will pipe up at back at crowd, and then she'll tell them straight. So you, if you're,
She's definitely a
we're
keeper
all
then.
rounder. That's it. Yeah, no, we've got each other's back, bro. We've got each other's
She's your
back.
soulmate.
Yeah. She is. She's a pain in the ass as well.
Listen, I just want to finish up on what's in the pipeline for Luke Dyson.
Personally, my brother, I've never built myself any expectations in life because then obviously you get let down and you break your own heart. I take each day as it comes. I know that sounds cliche again, but I do. I just take each day as it comes. 10 years ago, bro, I didn't think I'd be here. 10 years ago, bro, I didn't know whether I'd be here the next day or the next day after that. 5 years ago, things started to look a bit better. And then nowadays, I'm in a good position. I'm in the best position I've ever been in my life. I'm truly grateful for that. I'm truly grateful for everything that I've been through, good or bad, because it shaped me to how I am now. If this all ends tomorrow, truly I'll be able to sit down and look at my fiancée, look at my son and say, do you know what? I had fun. I met some amazing people along the way, made some amazing memories. Was it worth it? I'd say, yeah, in part. But is it all this for nothing? I don't think so. I think there's still a long, long way to go. There's a percentage of the world that live different out there, and I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it, bro. And I'm not coming for it for selfish intentions. I'm coming for it to prove my worth in the world to everyone around me and to myself as well, to prove that I can be worth it for myself.
No, I think what you've just hit it on there, and it was funny that you put the good, the bad, and I was just waiting for the ugly to go in there. But listen, you know, I'm made up that you come on, and I've been messaging your missus and messaging you going, fucking need to get him on, and I wanted to get the other side of Luke Dyson, not the warrior who goes on and just stands on, fights anyone and whatever. And we got a lot out of you, and I think people will take a lot from this episode. And I'm made up that, you know, you shared the good, the bad, and the ugly with us, mate.
No, it's all good, bro. It's been nice to come down and have a chat with you, man.
Thanks
It's been
very
a pleasure,
much.
bro.
Thank you, my man. Thank you
very much.